Hi YouTube, this is Born with a Veil. So I wanted to bring this to your attention. I get a lot of clients that are in a three-way love affair, been cheated on. Okay? I hear it all. So one of the topics that I wanted to bring up is if you're married or you're living together, you're engaged, you're dating, and then you're having an extramarital affair, or whatever the case is. Okay, let's put the cards on the table here. When you meet somebody, okay, you're in a relationship, and it could be a work love affair, it could be anything, it could be any sign, I don't care. But I get clients all the time, and I just wanted to point something out briefly. If you are in a marriage or relationship and you happen to meet somebody outside of that relationship, okay, and you tell that person, hey, look, I like you as a friend, and you start off in a friendship, I have somebody that's fine. Now, if you turn into lovers and this other person knows that you are married or in another relationship, and they agree to be in a relationship with you, and they agree to be in a love affair with you, and they agree to have sexual relationships with you, that's an agreement. Am I correct? Okay? So, but then later on down the road, you guys start getting close. You fall in love. You're together all the time. And then say you really don't know this person this well, but you know that you fell in love and you started seeing them and you grew closer, and the relationship, you bonded together, okay? But you're still married, you're still in a relationship. You're still doing what you have to do at home and do whatever. And then you may find out that your husband or significant other is having an affair, so you're having one, okay? So you're in a relationship, you find a new relationship, okay? You're madly in love. But then as the time goes on, your partner starts saying, well, if you want to be with me, you got to get a divorce, you got to do this, you got to do that. First of all, you don't have any right to make a demand on somebody else's life. That's what you don't have the right to do. You can discuss this with the person that you're in love with, but you can't make them leave a relationship. You can't make them leave somebody if they're not ready to, they don't want to, or it's just not time. Okay? Now you have a choice at that point. You can either leave that person, or you can still go into the agreement to start to keep dating them, to keep fucking them, to keep doing whatever you're doing with them. Okay? But you cannot make somebody make a choice if they don't want to make a choice. You knew what you were getting into from the beginning. You agreed upon it. So why now have an attitude about it? Now you have a choice to pull out of the situation. If it's not resonating with you anymore, you have a right to pull out, and you have a right to have a life of your own. Okay? But then sometimes it's hard for people to do that, because once you start, I don't care what nobody says, you can have male friends, and the best male friends you can have is gay ones, because they don't want no pussy from you, okay? But if you're in a friendship with a male, I don't give a shit who you are. Somewhere down the line, they're going to want to have sex with you, because you're always together. You're sharing intimate things. You're talking all the time. You have a bond. Now, some of you are like brothers and sisters, which is cool. Excuse me, but the majority of you, it's bullshit, because you're fucking, okay? You can't tell me nothing different. So let's get back to the relationship. So say you're in this relationship and you spend all your time with this person, but you're still married. You spend all your time with this person. You give it up all the time, making love all the time, freaking each other all the time. You're barely ever home, but you're with this person. Now, this person might say to you, okay, I can't do this anymore. And you're like, okay, And then some of you leave the situation because you're not going to leave your security. You're not going to leave what you have for a piece of dick. You're just not going to do it. And then some of you are truly in love with this person. See, that's the hard thing about being in a relationship and having a marital affair. Or if you're not married and you're living with somebody and you're sleeping with somebody else, then it's almost like you're backed up against the wall, like you have to make a decision. And eventually you will. Now, is the decision the other person or your husband or your wife or the other person that you're living with? The decision is totally up to you. But this person that you've been having an affair with cannot blame you totally for the affair, because that person joined in with you in the affair, knowing that you were married, knowing that you were living with somebody, know that you were dating someone else. Okay, they knew this, so they put their own ass into that situation. They can't blame you for everything, and that's not fair to blame you for everything. Okay? And then when you have an affair, it's hard to break it off with that person because you have so many things in common. Now, once you're in a relationship with another person, you don't know them totally like you know the person that you're married to or you're living with. You know them, okay? You know what they're going to do. You know what they're not. You know they're going to cheat. You know they're full of shit. You know they're going to bullshit. You know they love you, blah, 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 okay? But this person that you're having a marital affair with, you don't know them that well. So say you're with them and you start finding out shit about them. That's when you make your decision. Because you know they're not going to be truthful with you, for one. You know they're going to cheat on you because you're still married or you're living with somebody, engaged to somebody, or whatever. And then you start catching them in things. Catching them in lies. Catching them in a lot of bullshit. That's when you really make your decision. Because say some of you were getting ready to leave your mate for this person and you find out all this bullshit about them. You're not going to leave your mate because you done found out all this bullshit about them. You're not going to do it. So all I'm saying is watch when you get into a three-way party situation, because it's not, the grass is not always greener on the other side. What you do, yeah, you're having fun, you're going out, you're fucking, you're doing all these things, blah, 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 blah. But when you look at the reality of it, are you going to lose everything you got for this person that's been lying to you? It's deep. And the ones that are having marital affairs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if you're thinking about having one, I would suggest that you get to know this person, get to know everything about them before you take a leap of faith and before you cross that finish line. Because there may be some things that you find out about that person that you've witnessed yourself, you've seen, you've heard, you've whatever, before you make a decision to leave who you're with. Because I can guarantee you, if you're in an extramarital affair, that person that you're fucking, they're not being truthful with you. And maybe they've been deceiving you all along too. So you got to kind of watch for that, okay? So before you think about cheating, make sure that's what you want to do. If you have a deep friendship, there's a lot of women and men that have work husbands and have work wives too. You know, when you leave your house, especially when you work in a hospital, it's so different. It's like a fucking Peyton place. I worked in a hospital, I know. And sometimes you can be in a really bad marriage, really bad relationship, and then you meet somebody at work and that's your work husband, that's your work wife. They take your mind off of it for a while. You're with them 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day. And you share your life with them. Okay? And then you go home to the reality of the bullshit. Okay? So all I'm saying is think about it. And the person that you're messing around with, you guys got to come to some understanding of what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Are you going to be together? Aren't you going to be together? You know, are they going to act right? Make sure you're not coming out of a frying pan into a fucking boiling pot of water, okay? Because you really don't know that person totally, okay? So that's why I have a lot of people come to me about marital affairs. They've talked to me about them. Maybe they're living with somebody and they're cheating, or they're cheating on them. That's why I'm putting out this video, because that's a lot of what my calls are pertaining to, is cheating, relationships, extramarital affairs. This is why I'm putting this video out, to share this information with you, okay? You don't want to step out of a frying pan into some fucking boiling water and then you're screwed. I'm just saying, you know, you may not be in a good marriage. You may not be in a good relationship. Maybe you should venture out on your own and leave everybody alone and go get your own place and try to work it out yourself. Now, if you're in a three-way party love affair and the person that you're sleeping with and dating, and they treat you good and they want to be with you and they can help you financially, and knowing that you can trust them, knowing that they won't cheat on you, knowing that you guys are into each other, you have the greatest relationship, then I would say go ahead. But if you're going to somebody that cannot help you and take care of you, and can't be there for you, then I would tell you, no, don't do it. Stay where you're at. Or venture out on your own and get your own place and meet somebody totally different. Okay? So this is Born with a Veil, and there is no timestamp on this. There's no date or nothing. If you happen to run across it, you can leave a comment about how you feel, whatever you want to. But I thought that I would kind of help, because I do have a lot of people coming to me with extramarital affairs. So I thought that I might put a little something together and kind of help you out and make you see both sides of the situation, okay? So this is Born with a Veil. God bless.